Hello 11T. So this is task 5 and it was the assignment that you were given on Friday the 15th of January. And I want to talk you through how I would answer it. So the task will always tell you what type of text it is you're looking at. So if we can see here, we know that it's the front cover of a book. So we have to keep that in mind. We can't start talking about the fact that you know Bear Grylls perhaps from the TV. So it's the front cover of a book. And it says, select 2 presentational features used in this cover to make this book look appealing to the reader. So everything must come back to this book looking appealing to the reader. And then it says, explain the intended effect of these 2 presentational features on the reader. So I'm going to give you a moment to look at the text again. And I want you to think about your answer and whether you really focused on the fact that it was asking you to explain how it was appealing to the reader and what the intended effect of each presentational device was. So the first thing that strikes me is the intensity of this person's facial expressions. So I can only assume that this is Bear Grylls, and I don't need to know anything about it because he is the dominant picture. He's the dominant image, excuse me. Because he's looking straight at the reader because of his eye contact. I can see that because it's a close-up, that he's got very intense facial expressions. And then I must link that back to the question, well, how does that make the book appealing to the reader? And I'm looking at the title and it says it's the autobiography of Bear Grylls. So that tells me straight away that he's written the book. And the fact that the title is Mud, Sweat and Tears. And normally that is, the phrase is blood, sweat and tears, but because he's got mud, sweat and tears, it's fitting into that idea of adventure, of ruggedness, of strength. And so we can see how the presentational feature is linking into the title of the book. So we can imagine that this book is going to be very intense because of his facial expressions. We can imagine that it's going to be full of adventure. We can see a slight glistening of sweat, suggesting danger, thrill. We can see perhaps the fact that he is looking straight at us, and because it's an autobiography, that we're going to get the true story of this man. Okay? We could also say perhaps that he captures us first. And then if we look at everything else around him, the title of the book, the fact it's an autobiography, his name, the Channel 4 logo, we can think that no matter what else is written, it's all linked to him. The book is about him. The channel is endorsing him. And so that is intending to make the reader feel that it's a book that we'd want to read. The second thing that strikes me is the colour of the background. The colour of his shirt, the colour of his hair, the colour of his eyes, the colour of his name, the colour of the title of the book. And they're all dark, heavy, black, silver, grey, white colours. And again, this makes us feel this intensity, this mood of fierceness, and this idea that he's very strong. We've got those kind of sharp metallic colours coming through. And again, it's creating a mood of perhaps danger and adventure, and we want to know what it is perhaps that this man has been through. So those are just my thoughts. And then what I'm going to do in a moment is I'm going to show you how I would write that up in the answer. Give me a moment. Okay, so here's our answer sheet, and the answer sheet is laid out, as you can see, with your identification of the presentational feature being worth 1 mark, And then 4 marks being available for your explanation of how the presentational features are appealing and what is their intended impact. So you must always go back to the question. And I just want to remind you that to get your 1 mark, you can't just put the word image or colour or layout or whatever. You've got to actually specify and state what it is that you see that makes the reader feel a certain way or think a certain thing. So what I want you to do now, 11T, is based on your thinking from last week and based on what I've just told you in this little video, I want you to go and try answering this question again using this layout. Good luck. Bye.